Okay, Shalom Aleichem. Good to walk here. It's in the summertime, upstate New York, and I have the zchus to spend the Shabbos with a prominent Talmud Chacham and somebody that can teach us a lot, and especially in fields that very few people know what's going on. This is Rabbi Eli Matasof, Eliyohu or Eli?
Eliyohu.
Eliyohu Matasof, and I will tell you that he's a man, besides a Yudea Sefer and wrote many Svarim, he's also very practical. He does a lot of things for kashrus. But I actually want to spend time, a couple of minutes, 15, 20 minutes, whatever he could give me, to discuss. We're in Chodesh Av now, and where this Shabbos we're starting the Shivat in the Chemta. The Shivat in the Chemta that right away rings a bell, Tishrei. Tishrei is mitzvahs. One of the mitzvahs of Tishrei is the Daled Minim, esrog. And I know that Rabbi Matasov, one of his expertise is about something about the esrog. Now we are spoiled. We just go to the store and buy an esrog. Rabbi Matasov, let's start with basics before we get to question number one. When a person shows up to a store and he looks for an esrog, what are the first couple of things that I'm not talking about for the Gres Talamdim, I'm talking about a simple person. He's willing to pay, be Mahadav b'mitzvahs, Zekei Livanveu, but what are the first most important things he should look for?
The first thing he should, if he has to do with his Chabad, if he's a Chassid from the Rebbeim, anything to do with Lubavitch, the first thing he should make sure that the esrog is a esrog from Calabria. Calabria is a place in Italy. It's called also Yanover esrogim or whatever. It's the same esrog with two names, Yanover or Calabria. Today I think they are more known as Calabria esrogim, but there is a lot of esrogim from Erzol. There is Moroccan,
and they're all kosher. But
they're all kosher. They're all kosher. But the Rebbeim were against them. The Rebbeim hold it about the other esrogim, that there are also big shilas in halacha about the other esrogim. So the Rebbe, even for schools, not from schools, I mean Chabad schools, when they give to the kids Daled Minim, the Rebbe said, not from houses. The Rebbe said, or Hefum or something Masoratim, they're only Calabria esrogim. Even they know today Bochim go Mivtzoim, whoever, everyone knows he will not take a Kfar Chabad esrog and go to Mivtzoim, only a Calabria esrog.
Wow.
If he is Chabad, so but the Rebbeim was Negei Ainian Nafshi, Sayin Haloche, Say the Rebbe wrote reasons, the other reasons, starts from the Alter Rebbe, only a Italian esrog. From Italy, it's only Calabria.
I must tell you, you're starting off right away with hitting it out of the park. The Rebbe himself had esrogim from Kfar Chabad.
No. Shmuis will be here and there about stories. What this one said. You will give an interview to someone else. I'm looking whatever was printed from the Rebbe, whatever we saw about the Rebbe, and I looked in a lot to it, and I also wrote a lot to it, and it will be Mirza Shem printed. So yeah, the Rebbe maybe had there is such a thing that the Rebbeim had also a esrog from Eretz Yisrael.
Mitzad Chavivus of Eretz Yisrael.
Mitzad Chavivus of Eretz Yisrael for a second esrog, but now what the Rebbe did, there is what the Rebbe said, what he published, what he said to do, what he gave up to the Chassidim. There is no such a thing. A person should have a second esrog from Kfar Chabad. The Rebbe never wrote it. There is no such a thing. No one of the Rebbeim wrote it. The halacha is and the minhag is every Jew should have one esrog. And by Chabad, it's very strong to be a esrog from Italy.
Okay, so even though you mentioned before there are many reasons, give us the most simplest reason. What's the benefit, what's the mucker for Yanov esrog? We know that the Shluchim, right, the Moshe Rabbeinu sent Shluchim, is that the main reason?
No.
What is the main reason?
That's the Chelik Agoda Shebetere. And especially you, Rabbi Wilhelm, you're a person of halacha.
Yeah.
You don't study your shiurim with the medrash.
Okay, what's the
or
halach-
what Tzipur Chassidim said.
Yeah.
You're studying, I think, you told me today that you basing on that page.
Yeah.
Not even on the page from Shulchan Aruch and the post.
So what is the halachic benefit of Yanaveh?
Because there is some mitzvahs needs a masoires. What is a esrog? How he looks a esrog? This fruit that's called esrog, the pre-Eitz Hodo, and got all of the generations since Moshe Rabbeinu till today. He got very mixed up with other citrus. There is a lot of kind of citrus. There is the most known is a lemon, and they used to make the hakove.
How do you say hakava in English? Join together different fruits, right?
Yeah.
Is there is a title for that in English, right?
Yeah, there is a title. But now, so they used to make. I'm talking simple, like I told you.
Yeah.
So they used to make.
Used to when? When you say used to, when are you talking about? When?
All generations, a couple hundred years ago and more, and it's very hard. The esrog tree doesn't grow easy. It's not a strong tree, so all the generations came epidemics and things to the tree, and the esrogim tree stopped to grow, and that's in the whole history books and in the halacha books. The people, so in the Chuvas, they wrote there's some sefer and people that know esrogim,
Right.
because it was a big problem, became I think the essay, so they had to do it together with other pairs.
What would that help? It made it last longer?
Yeah,
For the Goyim did it.
the
yeah.
Goyim did it because that's the only way they use able to make esrogim is to put it together with a stronger tree. So the lemon is a stronger tree. It's the same. It's not the same meaning halacha. Legabe kilayim, a lemon and a esrog is two separate fruits, and it has the issue from kilayim. But for to grow, it's like a kind like they put it together and grows a mix, and when the mix goes from lemons and esrogim,
And that's not kosher as esrog.
it's not kosher as the esrog.
Okay.
According to all the poskim in the last 400 years.
Why
since,
would it be kosher? I mean, when the Torah says pre-Eitz Hadar,
It's other, it should not be miurev priacher. That should not have ta'aruves priacher. And the Alter Rebbe calls it's a brio meshuno. It's not what the Torah said. It's not the halacha l'meshe misinai what we have for a esrog, because we have a halacha l'meshe misinai for a esrog. The pre-Eitz Hodo you can you can explain a lot of ways, but the Rambam said that that's the Ramban. A lot of Rishonim are taining that it's halacha l'meshe misinai. That's the base.
Okay, so-
and there is also the droshes from Gemara de Asmachtes hador beilon mishana l'shana.
yes, that's what I wanted to ask you. Are there other fruits that are dor b'ilani mishana l'shana, besides a citrus, besides a esrog? A lemon is not dor, but a lemon is?
To tell you, it's a good question you're asking me. I didn't research about the lemon, but I see with my eyes that when we come a year later and it's left on the trees, esrogim we didn't cut, they are there and you can cut them. They are not the best for a mitzvah because usually they
turn
get
colored.
they getting some spots and things because they were always on the tree. But the whole year they can be on the tree.
All right.
Apple and other things after a few months. In the winter you will not find them on the tree for no price. I mean, there is no such a thing.
So I'll tell you, Chassidus Shavart, they say Rabbi David Raskin used to say, a fertige apple fällt up from boim. In other words, he was trying to tell Bachrim that if you think you're finished, you're going to fall off the tree. A person always has to work on himself. It's camel nishmertik. But you're saying most of the fruits, or all the fruits, they have their season and they're gone, right?
And they're gone. You cannot find them in.
An esrog is darba ilani b'shana mishana, and we're not sure. You're not sure of any other fruit, because if any other fruit had that same quality, we still don't know that. How do we know that the citrus that we use is dafka the one
So
that?
all the meforshim in Gemara Sukkah Daf Lamedech, some sefer and others, there are a lot of meforshim that are reich lener. on Masechta Sukkah. They're all talking about this. And the maskana is the maskana revachas. We will not go into details. It's not what you're looking in this short video. The maskana revachas is that it is what the Rambam writes in Hakdome from Pirush HaMishnayos, that we know b'maseres that that's the food that Aveiseinu and Aveiseinu soba Aveiseihem. So till Yehoshua ben Nun, and some Sefer brings there in Sukkah Daf Lamed Hey, since Moshe Rabbeinu is Mosif even. So that's a masoires on the pre, that's Aloch L'Meshe Misinai, that's the pre. So the Calabria Esrog, the Sefer and all the poskim that, not all, there is plenty, like 20 poskim I saw, Chuvas, and that they saying the Beis Ephraim and all of them, that that's the only esrog we should bench, because that's the Masir, we saw it by our parents. Now when comes a Moroccan esrog, come a Israeli esrog, they are different, and they came from esrogim that they planted in Israel from Yavon, from the esrogim from Parga, and from whatever, from Corfu, and also from Corsica, it's another place. And those esrogim have big problems. They look different, and it's a mix of something.
Okay.
So most poskim, there are a lot of poskim were machshir. They said we are not cheshesh. I will not say it's according to all the days. That's don't get me wrong, but according to Admur Chabad, they took the das haposkim that only a esrog for a masoire, and the masoire is only on an Italian esrog.
There's actually a shul in California that I know, a young Israel shul, that it could be that about 100 years ago, they had a problem with esrog, so they planted a tree. Until today, Shivak starting esrogim in the Yiddish and Chassidish labor. Esrog tree that goes in a shul. I don't know, but
but it all depends from where they took the garinim or the branch, because the way to make a new tree, you break a little branch from an esrog tree, a very little one, and you put it, and after 3-4 years starts to be a tree.
So Batsam, you don't have to go. Do you have to go to get an esrog from Calabria, or can you do what you just said? Bring it to California. Bring it anywhere.
No, but it's very hard. The esrog needs need a special weather, a special earth. So they tried it in California. There is botanic gardens. I have a friend, Yehuda Ben Shimchon. He's a very big in the mumche in the growing field, and
so, but it could be done.
He's a professor, and he tried for a lot, even for the botanic garden in Brooklyn. He tried for them. Could be done, but has to be controlled weather.
So
and a lot of water, and the water has to be. And the earth, everything has to work together. So most people that tried the esrogim did not work. And people are not crazy to go to Italy and go there if they can have it right here.
Right.
They don't grow. But there is some that growing esrogim. There is esrogim from California.
So I have a practical question for you. I know that you go there to check whatever has to be checked for esrogim. Please tell me, when is the season to do that? We want esrogim. I mean, it's Darby Loni Bechol Shana. What's the season to pick an esrog? B, what do you actually look for when you go there? I see when you advertise the pictures where you're laying on the ground and they said, I'm tiffin the red. What are you looking for? And C, I mean, an apple, if you cut off the ground, I think even from the letters from the rabbi, you could find, and shuvas and placekim, there is a shuva. What happens if you left an esrog over next year? It doesn't, an apple in 2 weeks is the same brain, right? Esrog could last for a long. When are they cutting these esrogim that they're selling in Elul and Tishrei? When are they cut, and why isn't that changing color? Why isn't that drying up?
The esrogim are cut somewhere Tammuz or Av.
So you're going there now,
and also the beginning of Elul.
Depends
on the year.
When do you go to do your ashgach? And what are you looking for then?
Usually it's I go around the Shchideshov, or the first half of this year will be the second half of
us. I mean, what's it?
Because the first cut fault from the beam was bad weather. It's a problem with the esrogim this year. So whatever, in Calabria there is a problem, but they're growing and they will grow, but they are late.
So, and what are you looking?
This year will be less of Calabria esrogim in the market.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It will be a little.
So-
Whatever. I don't like to talk about
Right,
now the
right.
business part
Right.
because
Yeah, but
it's
you-
not
this-
what the halacha people are
Right.
looking
So, what are you
for.
looking for when you're laying on the ground? What are you looking for?
Because of the reason we said esrog tree, if you plant it clean without any other tree, from lemons, from oranges, from there are different of citrus, and it's called in English grafting, whatever they are covered.
Grafting, yeah.
Grafting. So you asked me before about English.
Yeah.
So it's grafting. So the tree from esrog, after 5 years, he will stop to give pears. 10 years maximum. And so then the guy is losing. He's working hard, and his tree will be dying, and he doesn't give so much.
Yeah.
So the best thing is to put in the earth orange tree. They have special orange that works very
But that's
good with
hardcover.
them.
But that's
It's called
grafting.
What?
But
It's
that's
grafting. Yeah, that's
That's
hardcover.
not good for us.
It's not good for us. So therefore, we go there. If they will make the hardcover with another tree, they have this esrog tree for 20 years.
Right.
Good pears.
Right.
It's a strong tree.
Right.
And even will come a bad weather, big winds on the winter,
Yeah.
the tree will stay. The tree will not get dead it will not get frozen and dead, and you have
Right.
to cut them, and
Right.
you lost 3 years. You have to make a new tree.
Right.
You have to wait till it's less work, less money. So it's very little in Calabria. Very little the trees that are not murkev, that are kosher trees.
Wow.
So today, the way it works, that doesn't have to be a rova mashgiach, but has to be a Eid that we call him every name you call. That was to make sure
Check.
that the tree the check. So, but when you asked me before, what's the first thing when you go to a store, I didn't tell you that I go to the store, ask for a hersher, because usually the people that you are teaching halacha, Kingston Avenue, Williamsburg, Borough Park, they don't sell murkovim. They also
But they're buying it from places that they rely.
Yeah, no, not they rely, because Eden are coming there to buy the coding.
Okay,
Like the Cornites esrogim. Altain was there. Altain with his family. Now Altain's kids are going. Lazar's kids are going.
Yeah.
They got all the Rodel's kids are going. Or Keller you have. So Keller is there. The Shapiro's esrogim. I'm there. I'm not here to advertise, but so the esrogim in Crown Heights usually, and also the stores that sell the esrogim in Kingston Avenue, they don't buy it from a street that came from they are in the market murkovim. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, let me ask you.
But the Yiddish stores, they buy from one in Williamsburg that was there, or in Borough Park, they had to buy to whoever, I don't want to say names, but whoever was there, he sells esrogim that he makes sure it's from kosher trees.
How tall
Because
is
90 or 95% from the market is kosher.
Right. How tall is an esrog tree?
It used to be very, very low, and mamish, you have to go like a snake. The goyim are going with snakes and I don't know how they don't get caught, because when we lie down to check trees, we get caught with.
No, but how tall is the whole tree? How many esrogim grow in a tree?
Some trees can have 50 esrogim.
And a tree so low?
80. No, it's higher than a person. It's the height from a person, but it's from the earth, grows all over.
Oh, wow.
But now they found a patent to make the whole tree higher, but you can't cut anyone. You can reach. It's the height of a person. You can't reach any esrog without a chair, without a ladder.
Why?
So, because they are not so high. They don't go. So
Oh, you could. You said you could get.
you can.
Okay, so now, why do the goyim have it? Did they have a usage for it? The
Oh
goyim.
yeah.
The goyim
there
will
is a
Nesayach?
market. Yeah. In Italy itself, there is a big market from mashke, and the Eden that going there are some buying of the mashke from there, but needs a hersher because they put colorings and things.
Yeah.
So, but some maybe are making kosher mashkes from this. It's a very.
But it's a fruit that the goyim use also.
Not so much, but they use it for mashke. Some countries using it for some kind of perfume, medicines. There is some religions that using it for some ceremonies. A chosen gives to a kale a gem that was made from esrogim. There is.
So a mumcha like Rabbi Matasof, when you pick up an esrig in a store, is there any siman on the esrig that you could share with us? This looks like a morkov. Could a simple guy like me walk into a store and say,
I see you're a halacha authority. Your questions are.
Are there any simanim to say this is a chash morkov?
No.
No? We can't enough an esrig, huh?
No. There is no way. They tried even DNA testings.
Wow.
And they didn't find that.
So in other words, you have to buy an esrig from a ish naaman because a mishken zayin a morkov and nobody checked it and that's it, right?
Yeah. So, but I didn't see not anoshim naamonim that selling. Yeah, if you stam a person without any religion comes to you, you want to sell your esrogim, of course you don't buy. But if you buy from Williamsburg in Borough Park in Crown Heights, so who is going there? It's all for me.
How do they cut the esrog? Who cuts the esrog? A guy, right?
Yeah, the guy.
What makes them?
It's a very big job.
What makes the guy versteh that it's a poke or a gesetz is gonna? When you cut down apples, it cuts down.
But you have to be practical. All the goyim, I heard the same thing is in lulovim, and it never. It's not nice to say it, especially not to you, Rabbi. You're a halacha person. That a goy is not ne'eman for nothing. But they are big mumchim.
This is not ne'eman.
But they are mumchim.
This is not a manis issue.
They were born with a grandfather that already handled as kids, as babies. They handled with the esrogim for the Yiddish people.
No,
so
I'm talking about.
They know what Lubavitcher are makpid. They know what
really?
Satmar are makpid. They know true, and they will teach every new one that comes there. They will.
No,
teach
I mean a scratch. They handle it. They know the handle.
Lepel they are goyim. So usually the people that are doing in the esrogim, let his name be Keller, let his name be whichever Rodel, let his name be matasof. The people that are there, whoever, every Eid from Borough Park, Williamsburg, everyone that's in field from the esrogim, he knows how the esrog has to look. You can imagine one that's doing in lulovim, a wholesaler. So he knows exactly a lulav has to be straight, a lulav has to be closed.
No, but are you standing him watch pick every esrog?
They know exactly, but of course we stand. All the that buying esrogim after it's cut, they checking and they don't take all of them. They don't take all the esrogim. We live in a lot of esrogim are left in the field
because I was not mehuder.
They're not mehuder, and not everything the goyim can see by the cutting. Whoever it's dark, and they don't. And from some angles. Esrog is surrounded with other esrogim, with leaves, with koitzim. There is no way to, before you cut, to see everything. A lot of times after you cut, you found, there is a hole there somewhere. There is a big scratch that you weren't able to see before.
What kind of tricks?
Usually the goyim that cut themselves, when they see that the esrog is not good, they don't bring it even. They just throw it on the floor there.
What kind of tricks do they do to the goyim do, or maybe lahavdali, to make the giddle look nice? There's any tricks? Or they just no tricks.
It's biyad
Gartlach.
Ma'amin b'chaya elamim v'zarei. There are some fields, like everything, that Balabatim, depends on the person, what Hashem gives, even to the Goyim. Some have more atzlocha in the felder, and they have nice esrogim that everyone wants to buy, so their price is higher. And there are some that are not matzliach. And it's not tricks so much. It's the bichas Hashem. What field you have? Or
my shaila is, what is it? A teva of a esrog that it could stay in. You're cutting it middle of. You cut an apple of. How long is the apple going to stay fresh?
Esrog has a lot of months of life, like a lemon. And also,
a lemon will stay so long like an esrog?
It will stay 6 months easy.
Really?
And but since the cutting till you use it, of course, a lemon. But we get already the lemons. When we get them, they're already after a few months after the cut. So therefore we had to refrigerate them. But it's a problem. This year will be special. This year, Tovshin Pegimel. So that means for Tishrei Pedalet will be a problem because we will cut late. We start this year. All the esrogim will start to be cut the second half of Av and Chedesh Elul, so they don't have time to get yellow. Esrog after
So they're gonna be greenish. You're saying
they will be greenish. It's kosher 100% because it's a greenish that gets to yellow, so it's not a problem. It's not the esrog Yorek Karsi or something
Sefer Minhagim.
that Sefer Minhagim. Yes, you're right. Sefer Minhagim said that should be a little. So it's not the esrog that's possible because there he talks about some esrogim that the atzmizdik, all the poskim said atzmizdik color, they never become yellow. It's a green.
Right.
That's not a kosher. This all esrogim, it's a mechusar zman. They should because usually it takes 8 weeks. A esrog should become yellow. So I don't see. Oh, there is some that have some gas. They put in big refrigerators of gas, and they make it yellow in a few days. But that's very rare. Not everyone is so much has this equipment to work on the esrogim to make them yellow. So this year, it's sure that Tishrei, everyone that will come to the esrogim, it will bother people that look for yellow. Yellow is nicer also. They will not find a lot of esrogim yellow.
So let me ask you.
It will be greenish. Depends. The one that we will cut off, if they will be closed for 1 month, good time packed in the heat. So then they will start to become yellow. But
How do they get shipped from there to there by boat?
No, by plane.
But too late by boat. What's because it's too long time or what?
Yeah. Today I don't know about shipment by boat, but even with a plane, we cut them and then takes a week until goes through all these inspections because
they don't like fruit. They
don't want fruits, and you need special inspection in Italy before they goes in the box at the airport. So there has to be inspection from the Italian government, from the American government with a special certificate.
Oh, wow.
And you need to have this certificate in the airports here. And also in the airports here, it's all the Agudas Yisrael is the one that arranged special heterim for esrogim because if it's not in New York, in other places, they
won't allow it in. I thought Canada is very bad about that.
Canada is also very bad. They don't have these connections like in here. So it's difficult, very difficult. But I don't know. I'm not so much in this field from the shipping.
Okay, well, I don't want to keep it too much time for you. So until now we covered. You go to a store, you got to make sure it's not Morkov. So you want to make sure it's Yanaver, if possible. One or two more simanim that Stam Amcha buying esrog should look for.
So the Rebbe was we going according to what we saw in the Rebbe's esrog. So that's not only a shmur, and there is shmurs people that spoke to the Rebbe, but I'm not counting on shmurs. There is no such a thing of shmurs. So we're looking on the Rebbe's esrog. What the Rebbe was choosing, the Rebbe was choosing esrog the gidul. So the gidul is important. More than to look. The
gidul means the size, the shape.
The shape should be a nice esrog. So should be a nice esrog. Doesn't matter if by Chabad they don't use very small ones like the whole world. They use a little bigger. Should not be mamish a small size like the smallest esrogim. A little bigger, and the shape should be straight. Straight means
the Rebbe's is more roundish. The Rebbe's was pretty biggish.
More roundish. I mean, some Lubavitch don't like esrogim that are migdol.
They don't like it because of what
because
reason?
Because the Rebbe used to have. It's called the Yamelke one, the Rebbe one. The gidul that Calabria esrog was more. So the one that the Rebbe was choosing. So therefore, a lot of Lubavitch are not buying. It doesn't in halacha mamish not a difference. It's a kemigdol. That's the esrog from halacha. It's not a problem. Chas v'shalom. That's all the Eden are benching that the esrog goes a migdol.
Right. A tower. Migdol is like tower.
A tower. but the Rebbe is a little more roundish, more
Yeah.
like a,
One last thing.
They call it the yarmulkes.
One last thing. Pitim, no pitim. What's the... It obviously grows with a pitim, right?
If grows without a pitum, so it's not a
It grows
problem.
without a pitim?
No, so every esrog, the beginning of his growing has to have a pitum.
Right.
That's the grows before the food. The pitum is the first thing. When
Right.
they are babies, the pitum goes out, then starts the meat around.
How long does it
So,
take an esrog to grow?
But the pitum falls up before in middle of the growing because it's not strong attached, whatever reason is. So part of the growing that the pitum falls up and the esrog grows further when he's small. The pitum fell alone without the pitum. So according to the halacha, most of the poskim, most of Rishonim, not all the Rishonim, but
The Rebbe's esrog didn't have a pitim.
the Rebbe's esrog most time had a pitum.
Had?
Yeah, most time had a pitum.
Really?
Yeah,
Big thing.
but sometimes, yeah, so there is sometimes, so the Rebbe says it didn't have a pitum, but most time had a pitum. So the minhag today is you don't need a pitum.
How do you know?
But again,
how
I
do you
will
know
tell
if
you
it fell
again,
off?
if someone is looking to be me'ader b'mitzvah, he gave already all the tzedakah for Sukkot, and he made all the mitzvahs from Sukkot to buy for his house, for his kids, everything to be mesameach on Shebeise. He wants to spend another $50, another $100, and to buy the one with a pitum, it's not a bad idea.
Now,
I will not say that he's doing a wrong
waste of
thing.
money.
I will not say it's a waste of money, but we don't have to make
So let me ask you-
to overdo it because it's kosher, and that's what a lot of Lubavitcher. That's my father always used to have a esrog without a pitum, and that's what I saw by my father. That's big Lubavitcher chassidim.
So how do you know
Esrog
when you
without
look at an esrog
pitums,
without a
so-
pitim? How do you know if it fell off by itself or it got cut off? What's the simon to know?
Usually the sellers know, and a
How can a
seller.
seller know? I mean,
Because when the pitum breaks, it's not flat. In Shchonoch, it says, even in Halacha, in the Poskim, that there is a gume a little. If you look good in the place where, if he grew this way, the pitum is not there by the growing, has a little gume. But
a dent.
a dent. And even sometimes they don't have the dent, but it's straight, it's glatt. When a pitum breaks, it doesn't break straight. It's like you will break a little piece of wood. It will be like a knife. It will be cutting. It will be one sticking out, one
So you
piece.
can see that it was there, it just fell off.
I don't know if everyone can see, but my people that doing in esrogim, I ask one that's doing in esrogim, and he will tell you right away from a picture if it's.
Rabbi Matasof, this was very, very, very informative, and because it's in the Chodesh Shavuot, so you're getting ready for your big trip. Seid Matzliach,
Mirza Hashem.
seid Matzliach, and seid Mahana De'elu mit guter Yiddische Mahudike esrogim.
But the tefillas from Baruch Oleinu should, we all wait for it.
Okay.
That should be a broch in the esrogim, because we want, I'm not in the business, but I want to be matzliach. The Eden should have nice esrogim.
Thank you very much.